Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget first rule. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. The best investment you can make is in yourself. The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Our favorite holding period is forever. Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Opportunities come in frequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. The business schools reward difficult, complex behavior more than simple behavior. But simple behavior is more effective. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. Investing is not a game where the guy with the 160 IQ beats the guy with 130 IQ. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. You should invest in a business that even a fool can run because someday a fool will. It's only when the tide goes out that you discover who's been swimming naked. The big question about how people behave is whether they've got an inner scorecard or an outer scorecard. It helps if you can be satisfied with an inner scorecard. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. When a management team with a reputation for brilliance tackles a business with a reputation for bad economics, it is the reputation of the business that remains intact. I try to buy stock in businesses that are so wonderful that an idiot can run them because sooner or later one will. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. The best thing I did was to choose the right heroes. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. I don't look to jump over 7-foot bars. I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over. I don't try to jump over 7-foot hurdles. I look for 1-foot hurdles that I can step over. You do things when the opportunities come along. I've had periods in my life when I've had a bundle of ideas come along, and I've had long dry spells. If I get an idea next week, I'll do something. If not, it is not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. The best investment you can make is in yourself. It's better to be approximately right than precisely wrong. The key to successful investing is to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you are doing. The investor's chief problem and even his worst enemy is likely to be himself. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. The stock market is filled with individuals who know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. In the short run, the market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it is a weighing machine. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. If past history was all that is needed to play the game of money, the richest people would be librarians. It's not about being right or wrong, but about how much money you make when you're right and how much you lose when you're wrong. The only time to buy these is on a day with no why in it. You ought to be able to explain why you're taking the job you're taking, why you're making the investment you're making, or whatever it may be. You don't need to be a genius or a visionary. You just need to have the courage to put your own stake in the ground. Investing is simple but not easy.